Hiya, welcome back to the channel. Well, today I'm going to focus on an issue which I seem to have seen it mentioned a few times on the Facebook groups. So I thought I'd make a video out of this one. Rear tailgate and doing this as you're driving can be a bit irritating. It's not too bad on mine because I've got this shit from a previous video which does help it a little bit, but I'm going to show some methods on, well, stopping it from doing that. That's the plan. Right, so this is method one, and this is probably the easiest method. But if you're still running a standard stereo with standard speakers, then it might not be loud enough to cover it up, and some people just don't like music. So if you're one of them people, then this is another option. I've seen a few people do this actually, and I've seen this method recommended a few times, which, hold on a minute, you can see what I'm trying to do, can't you? I'm going to wrap that around there in a neat and progressive manner. Yes. Actually, you know what? That has completely stopped it. That works way better than I thought it was going to, and I can see why people recommend that method. Because, well, completely stopped it. I'm amazed. But I've got some other methods to show as well. Right, so let's crack on and highlight some other methods. Now, this is a method. This one will definitely work. If you do this one, then you won't have a rattly tailgate. Right, if you undo these bolts here, and this one here, and then there's a plug down there behind this panel, which sort of just pulls off, you can remove this tailgate. Also, it can remove from there, if you don't want to leave the hinges on. And I mean, it's coming to summer now, or spring, so it should be all right. And it will have a slight detrimental effect on, you know, well, how weatherproof the car is, but it won't make much of a difference because that's how these are anyway. So that is one option. You can just take the tailgate off, and that will, like I said, that will definitely rectify the rattling tailgate. But there are other options, believe it or not, too. And this is probably my go-to option. This is what I would. This is the first option that I'd do, to be honest with you. The first thing I'd try. So if we undo these 10mm bolts here, using high quality work zone spanner from, I think that's from Lidl or Aldi or some shit. If we undo them, if you see that there, do a push it in, and then when it's pushed in, you've noticed this here, hold on, moves. Don't move that much, but it moves enough. So we push it in, and then as we push it, we tighten this up to keep it in the most forward position it can be in. And then if it's not enough, you could actually, if you're in budget mode, you could take the bolts out, and you could even probably elongate the holes, but I don't think we're going to have to do that. So now we'll tighten this up. Just quickly mention actually that when you position it and then you try and tighten these up, sometimes it does move. So if you're using both of your arms and your hands to hold it, you can just wedge something in there, then it'll stop it from moving as you tighten the bolt up, which I'm going to do now. So now that's tightened up in a nice position, then we can see how that is. And it's pretty much there. I mean, to be honest, that's not going to rattle when I'm driving. I can rattle it by hand, but I've got to squeeze it against the rubber, which, you know, you're always going to be able to do. But we can go further with this. So let's open this again. And if we shitter, oh, it's that there, it's that wobbling there. Right. If we yeah, with this open, the other thing that we can do is we can pull this off just to invite some water into the car, just for a change. And I'm not going to do this one actually, but if you know what, fuck it, I'll do it. And you can do this with you know, some good grips or something, but the plan is this lip here. If you just do that all the way around, then it gives you a couple of extra millimeters on your seal. Yeah. And anything that is either pushing that lock in or bringing the surface that the tailgate sits against outwards, or basically pulling tailgate in, you know, more, or pulling that outwards, is going to tighten up the grip. I mean, you could modify this, you know, if you really wanted to, if you wanted to be, you know, really enthusiastic about this, you could you could cut that off and cut a few mil out of it and weld it so it's tighter. I'm not going to do that, fuck that, but you could do. There's loads of ways you could do this. So effectively all you're trying to do is putting the tape on stops it rattling because it gives it a cushion. It's still moving around, but it stops it rattling because it gives it a cushion for what it's rattling against. Or if you do these, then you're sort of stopping it moving around. You're making it so that it's pulled in more and tight. Before I put that back on, just mention this, if you're going to use a hammer on it, you need to use one of these specific dildo type hammers. I think that came from Aldi, but I'm not sure. But it will only work if you use one of these sort of children's hammers. So let's put this back on and let's see if it has made any difference, or if I'm just been pissing into a force 10. Fucking, I can't get it back on. I'll come back. Let's make sure that this is all back where it lives. Another thing about this one, and the ones pulling the tailgate further in, it's also one of the stop it leak methods. Oh yeah. Yes. Now that, without even having tape on it, that, I would say, is a great success. And that's about all we've got time for this week. So don't forget to tune in next week for the same kind of shit. There will be more. I have got another one planned for a future video on more soundproofing to go with the others. But yeah, that's it for this one, just a short one. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos, and I'll see you next time.